Hey guys, Bananiac here. Welcome to my recap of the Florida Criterium State Championships. This is the Cat 5 race, which was only 30 minutes plus one lap. We raced in Central Broward Park, which is near the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. Really cool, easy course with a small cobbled section. However, the conditions that day were not the prettiest. As you can see, it was pouring down rain right before we raced, but thankfully it cleared up a bit, but still super wet, so please excuse the water on the lens. My friend who raced the Cat 4 race actually ended up crashing, but thankfully everyone was all right.
Fuck me, man. Fuck.
Anyway, let's talk about the race. So in the first few laps, everyone was just testing out their legs. There were small breakaways, people attacking, people chasing. People were not really working together. Guys just putting down power way too early and making me chase them basically. Finally, when I catch them and it's my turn to pull, I'll make sure I keep my power within a sustainable range, because it's so easy to forget about looking at your data and just pulling hard from all the adrenaline. So keeping it reasonable and setting my pace until people go around me and then just hop on their wheel. Same thing again when I go to the front, setting my own pace. And I know you see that group up ahead, but there's no way I am chasing them down. Letting other people do the work and hopping on their wheel. And I realize that's probably not the heroic thing to do, but that's bicycle racing, using the power when it matters. I realized that no one wanted to pull, so basically everyone has the same mentality: ride on people's wheels to sprint in the end. That's it. So I thought to myself, fine, I'll pull on my own slow ass pace and basically sit up here all day, and if people want to work for it and go, fine. And I guess it worked. People started coming up on my right side, and then I caught a wheel. So that's the game of cycling, trying to save as much energy as possible. I don't chase down every attack unless I see a good number of riders moving forward. About 5.5 miles in, the pace began to slow down. Everyone's catching their breath for a bit and recovering from all the chasing. 1 mile later, things started to get a bit sloppy. People are more twitchy in the peloton, not doing a good job of holding their line, which can be difficult to do if you're super tired and starting to black out. So my instinct was to get away from that as soon as possible. All right, so the pace starts to pick up again, guys going up the road, and eventually that break gets caught. Now, once I see this, I try to take advantage of it because everyone behind me is super tired from chasing. I did a little fake attack, bringing up the power to 600 watts to see if anybody would chase me, and I kept looking back and no one was following me until I saw this big dude making a huge effort to catch me. And then I figured, okay, now I got someone with me, let's attempt a breakaway. Now unfortunately this guy wasn't pulling that much, so I made sure I kept a steady pace so that we can keep away from the group, but also for me to be able to sustain it because I'm doing a lot of the work. And once we came around the finish, another guy on a Cannondale joined the break, which really looked like a strong rider, but I felt like he was pulling way too hard, at least in my opinion. This break was looking kind of shaky. I didn't feel like these guys were going to keep it together, so eventually I decided to drop back to the main group so I would not use up any more energy. Now, looking back at this, I really wish I would have stuck with them, because they ended up crossing the line without getting caught. So kudos to these two guys for putting in an awesome effort. That was a tough moment for me because I had to decide if I wanted to go all in and risk it or play it safe and stick with most of the riders. I think I'll probably look back at this moment for a long time, but again, that's cycling. But I was able to catch my breath, recover, and get back into it, and things were pretty much consistent until the 13-mile mark. People started to panic again. I got pushed off on the side of the road by some dude, which really was scary. I had to jump a curb to get back on the road. I thought I was gonna crash, man. That was not fun. After that, I was super pissed. I started passing people on the left, trying to move up to a safer spot and also to get a good position for the sprint. For the last lap, I spent a lot of time in the front. I could hear people behind me screaming, "Hold your line," and just going crazy with each other. Felt much more safe in the front, but got passed by a few riders on the right and lost my position. So after this cobbled section, I'm just trying to hold wheels, and at this point I should have just gone with that space on the right there, but it closed down and unfortunately there was nowhere for me to go. People are starting to sprint now, and again there's a space I should have gone, but honestly my legs were done after all the pulls that I did for this ride. So I got passed by a few people and ended up finishing 11th out of 31 riders, and honestly it was a good race for me. It was. I averaged around 250 watts, normalized power was around 280. I put in a solid effort, but I think looking back at this, first of all, I wish I would have stuck with that brake. I wish I would have pulled less, and in general for the whole ride I wish I would have pulled less, but I really wish I would have stuck with that breakaway and just sat in more instead of making all those pulls. But it's still really early on for me. This was my third criterium, my third mass start race, so I've learned a lot so far, especially from this race, and learning different tactics, looking left and right, seeing who's coming up the road, when to go, when to sit in, that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and watching me race. If you guys want to see more races from me, I'll be doing way more here in this year. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video, and smash that like button down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.